everybody. Our presentation on the session topic Expatriate Management is concentrating on the management of repatriation. Our group consists of Leah, Caroline, Karim, Philip and Max. First of all, we start with the explanation of repatriation, then we take a look at the stages and challenges, and last but not least, the re-expatriation process. Let's start with the definition of repatriation. In today's international world, many multinational enterprises use expatriation programs to send their employees abroad to gather international experience on clients and colleagues abroad. There are of course many reasons as to why a company would send away employees: promoting or rewarding outperformers, dumping mediocre or low-performing staff, exporting local know-how to build up or turn around foreign subsidiaries, or even because the employee wants a change of scenery and there's no real reason against that. While that yields many benefits, both for the company and the employee, reintegrating or repatriating that employee is often not as easy and insignificant as it seems, and as it is regarded by many professionals. In fact, a study revealed that 25% of those employees who returned after being expatriated left their company to join a competitor within the first year after returning. That's a turnover rate twice as high as for employees who stayed in their local offices. As you can imagine, spending time abroad in a new environment consisting of new people, cultures, practices, and clients can have significant impact on the individual and change the way they view things, including the old office they return to. The employee might be delighted to return or be depressed to leave behind an existence they built during their time abroad. In both cases, this possesses a significant change for companies in repatriating staff and is of high managerial importance for retaining staff, maintaining low turnover rates, and ultimately employee satisfaction. Companies are typically well advised in offering career guidance to employees and putting their international experience to work on projects the repatriated employee would feel comfortable in. That is, making sure that employees feel as through their project are worthy of their attention and not just a waste of their time and talent. Now to the stages of repatriation. Returning to the home country can be difficult for the expats in more than just one way. Not only he has to deal with reverse cultural shock, he may also be met with disbelief and confusion. Therefore, a complete understanding of the repatriation process is crucial to offering repatriating employees proper backing and moral support during that process. The repatriation process has a sequence of 4 phases. The first one is the preparation phase. A few months before the expat returns home, the employee should be taken through a re-entry phase. This involves developing a plan for the future and collecting suitable information regarding the new position the expat is likely to get. Additionally, the company may provide a checklist of items to be considered when returning home. The next stage involves the physical relocation. Many returning expatriates who are looking forward to share their enthusiasm and experience in their adoptive country may be met with indifference, dismissal, or even hostility by the very people who they thought would be interested in hearing about their foreign adventures. To that, this phase involves to overcome those problems by breaking ties with colleagues and friends from abroad and travel to the next post, the home country. Furthermore, there is the transition phase, where the expatriate readjusts with his family in the home country. This involves activities like including acquiring temporary accommodation, deciding arrangements for housing and schooling, and performing necessary administrative tasks, for example, renewing the driver's license. Last but not least, there is a readjustment phase, which is trying to reverse the cultural shock and expatriate career demands on the organization. The reintegration process is more difficult if the cultural gap between home and host country differs more. Furthermore, repatriation faces three major challenges. First of all, organizations in the home country is affecting repatriation. On average, companies don't have a specific existing guideline for repatriations. They manage it when they have to and how they want to, case by case. Companies which have repatriation planning and programs don't take into account the family they manage, only the employee. The reasons why they don't have repatriation program are the lack of expertise, the cost of setting one program, and the lack of perceived need by top management. Firms prefer the mentor system because it's costless, based on previous experience, more specific and realistic. It consists in regular contact with a mentor in the home country, in taking expatriates' interests regarding promotion and job placement return, etc. into account. The repatriation organization depends on the size of the expatriate workforce, the organizational unit responsible for handling expatriates, and the nationality of the organization. Also, programs will be made in important companies rather than in little ones. They will use mentor systems. Individual relations and job-related factors are also challenging repatriation. Career anxiety is one of the most frequent feelings during repatriation. It's about no post-assignment, guarantee of employment, loss of visibility, and isolation and changes in the home workplace. Adjustments have to be done after repatriation in the home country to build again the employment relationship and career expectation in the home country, to facilitate the re-entry of employee and not to devaluate the international experience of the employee. The re-entry in the company is the most complicated stage of the repatriation because the employee has to readapt herself to the behavior, the atmosphere, the clarity, the discretion, and the work organization of the company. Repatriation can be associated with a diminution of the status of the employee. If she was promoted when she went abroad, back in her home country, the promotion won't last more and she will have the same job as before, meaning a reduction of autonomy, of responsibilities, of her wage and living conditions. Last but not least, factor influencing repatriation is social and cultural adaptation. Expatriates will face difficulties for her family to readapt themselves to the home country lifestyle, customs and language. The children may encounter social readjustment problems in school because they are not just updated on latest trends and may have problems adjusting to their home country educational system. Moreover, the adaptation and discovery of a new country and culture will be way far behind the expatriate. Last but not least, we want to take a look at the re-expatriation process. Re-expatriation is about coping with changes, for example, a change of the company, a reverse culture shock like explained before, or change career demands of the expatriate. Re-expatriation problems mostly arise from anxiety and uncertainty experienced upon return and may take 1 to 1.5 years. Reputation adjustment is examined on the basis of three main dimensions: work adjustments, social cultural adjustment, and psychological adjustments. Work adjustment includes changes in job responsibilities characterized mainly by a decrease in the level of responsibility and authority upon their return to the home organization. Social cultural adjustments consist of adjustment to lifestyle, social activities, relationships, financial conditions, and to the culture of the home country. Psychological adjustment includes expectation, experience, stress, and perception of loss of previously held conditions and relationships. Generally, the more successful the expatriate was in the host country, the more difficult it is to adjust to the work environment at the home base. During expatriation, organization can assign sponsors or contact persons for expatriates who are only responsible for communication with the expatriates. The perception of organizational support alone is very important. Therefore, organizations should support the expatriates. Selection of highly qualified employees for expatriation might be important because increased levels of professionalism may decrease adjustment problems. Finally, career planning of expatriates should be conducted carefully from a realistic perspective with regard to reputation, and overseas assignment should be linked to long-term career plans for the period which can be thought as transition. Organizational practices like preparing reputation directory, organizational reorientation programs, training expatriates prior to return, negotiations with expatriates to job role after return, clarifying task and job placement, and empowering and consistency with the expectations of repatriate can greatly improve the readjustment process. After return, typical areas or topics in which an employee can assist a repatriate are: 1. The physical relocation itself, 2. Financial and tax assistance, 3. Re-entry position and career path assistance, 4. Reverse cultural shock, including family disorientation, 5. School systems and children's education and adaptation, 6. Workplace changes, for example, corporate culture, structure, decentralization, 7. Stress management and communication related training, 8. Establishing networking opportunities, and last but not least, 9. Help in forming new social contracts. We hope you enjoyed the video presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.